Prue Leith, the indomitable force of British culinary arts whose life story reads like a gourmet novel, spanning continents, cookbooks and confections, has always wielded her opinions with the precision of a chef's knife. At 85, the South African-born trailblazer who revolutionized London's dining scene with her eponymous restaurant before becoming a beloved judge on the Great British Bake Off, turned her discerning eye toward one of the most hyped wellness trends of recent years: prescription weight loss injections. In a refreshingly blunt reflection, Prue recounted her 2-month experiment with Mounjaro, the branded form of tirzepatide, a medication originally developed for managing type 2 diabetes but increasingly embraced off-label for its appetite-suppressing prowess. What emerged was not a tale of triumph but a cautionary chronicle of unmet expectations, where a complete evaporation of hunger led not to pounds shed but to persistent exhaustion and a resounding disdain. "I hated the bloody thing," she declared with characteristic forthrightness, her words slicing through the glossy veneer of pharmaceutical promises like a serrated blade through overbaked meringue. Prue's foray into this injectable realm was sparked by a mix of curiosity and domestic influence. Her husband, John Playfair, the retired fashion designer whose union with Prue in 2016 marked a late-life renaissance for both, had found success with the very same treatment. Over the course of several months, John shed 2 stone, his frame lightening with the ease of a well-risen soufflé, prompting Prue to wonder if the magic could extend to her. Yet, where it sculpted him into a slimmer silhouette, it left Prue unchanged, her bathroom scales mocking her daily with unchanging digits. "I did try it. I took it for 2 months, lost my appetite completely and didn't shed an ounce. Nothing. Every day I got on the scales and I still weighed exactly the same as before," she detailed, her voice laced with the exasperation of a perfectionist thwarted. The drug's mechanism, which mimics gut hormones to signal fullness to the brain and slow gastric emptying, worked all too well on the hunger front. Meals that once delighted her palate became chores she approached with indifference. But this suppression, rather than catalyzing caloric deficit, seemed to stall her metabolism in a stubborn stasis, leaving her body a fortress unbreached by weight loss. Compounding the inefficacy were side effects that drained the vibrancy from her days. A profound tiredness settled over her like a heavy fog, sapping the energy that has fueled Prue's extraordinary octogenarian output, penning novels that blend suspense with supper club intrigue, hosting television specials that dazzle with her encyclopedic knowledge of flavors, and even tackling half-marathons with the gusto of someone half her age. "I hated the bloody thing and I was tired all the time, presumably because I wasn't eating," she explained, attributing the depletion to her unintended semi-fasting state. John's offhand compliment, that she appeared thinner, drew a wry self-deprecating retort. "I think that means old and scraggy round the face." At 85, Prue's face, etched with lines of laughter and wisdom from a lifetime of feasts and faux pas, is a map of authenticity, not a canvas for anti-aging illusions. The financial sting added insult to inertia. Mounjaro's cost, prohibitive without insurance coverage for weight loss alone, felt like an extravagant gamble on a fixed roulette wheel. "And it's expensive," she noted curtly before concluding with decisive finality, "As soon as I could, I stopped. It was terrible for me." This personal debacle aligns seamlessly with Prue's long-standing philosophical opposition to such interventions, a stance she has articulated with the clarity of a manifesto. In prior conversations she has lambasted the long-term dependency they engender, warning, "Jabs are the wrong answer because you have to go on jabbing yourself for the rest of your life and that can't be entirely good." For Prue, whose career has been a paean to pleasure and eating, from her groundbreaking all-female kitchen brigade at Leith's in the 1960s to her judgeship on a show that celebrates the alchemy of flour and fantasy, these drugs represent a mechanistic assault on one of life's greatest joys. Her ethos, forged in the fires of post-war rationing and immigrant ambition, champions intuitive balance, savoring a crisp salad of rocket and radish one day, indulging in a buttery croissant the next, all while listening to the body's cues rather than overriding them with chemistry. Mounjaro's failure wasn't just physiological, it was an affront to her sensory worldview, where appetite is a compass, not a curse to be chemically curtailed. The ripple effects extended into the intimate sphere of her marriage, injecting a subtle discord into their harmonious routine. John's transformation, while admirable, has recalibrated their shared rituals in ways that irk Prue's hedonistic heart. Once a companion in evening unwinding, 2 or 3 glasses of robust red wine to cap a day of creative endeavors. He now nurses half a measure, leaving it unfinished with the restraint of the newly temperate. "He hardly drinks now and I'm a great boozer. I have 2 or 3 glasses of wine every night and he'll only have half a glass, which he won't finish. It's a pity," she confessed, her tone a cocktail of affection and mild resentment. This asymmetry underscores a broader irony. John's vitality boost comes at the cost of Prue's solo toasts, turning what was once a duet of delight into a solitary symphony. Their Lake District home, a haven of home-cooked banquets and fireside debates, now hosts these uneven libations, a reminder that health pursuits, even successful ones, can uneven the scales of partnership. Prue's narrative invites a deeper interrogation of aging in the age of augmentation. At 85, she defies the stereotypes of frailty with a vigor that belies her years. Her latest novel, The Dutch Housewife, weaves espionage with Epicurean escapades, while her podcast dissects the ethics of sustainable sourcing with the fervor of a crusader. Yet, even icons confront the cultural imperative to remain youthful, where weight becomes a proxy for vitality. Mounjaro, marketed as a liberator from obesity's shackles, overlooks the idiosyncrasies of mature metabolisms. Slower thyroids, hormonal harmonies shifted by decades, lifestyles layered with legacy rather than novelty. Prue's unchanged weight, despite appetite's absence, highlights this mismatch, a body's refusal to conform to a one-size-fits-all script. Her old and scraggy quip, delivered with gallows humor, pokes at vanity's vanity, suggesting that true thinness in later life might be the preservation of spirit over silhouette. Through it all, Prue's candor serves as both shield and salve. Her dismissal of the jab isn't sour grapes but seasoned skepticism, drawn from a wellspring of experience. From her apprenticeship under French masters to her knighthood for services to the industry, she has navigated failures, from sunken soufflés to scathing reviews, with grace and grit. This episode, a mere footnote in her flavorful autobiography, reinforces her creed. Wellness is woven from wholeness, not wrested from want. As she returns to her scales, not for judgment but for the joy of a well-balanced meal, Prue Leith reminds us that some battles, like ill-fated jabs, are best abandoned. In her world, the sweetest victory is the freedom to feast on life unfiltered, one unhurried sip at a time.